The Dode Fox Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Dode Fox Podcast. I'm Paul, he's Ronnie, and if the club are dishing out refunds for yesterday, I'll be waiting in line for mine. 33 years and counting. Like, subscribe and click the notification bell on YouTube. Support the pod at buymeacoffee.com/Dode Fox Podcast. Listen at dodefoxpodcast.com and follow us on social media at Dode Fox Podcast.
Coming up on this week's episode, the week that was, Celtic Review, Good, Bad and Ugly, Ayr Preview, Loan Report, Tannadice Test, and On This Day with the Arab Archive. So coming up on episode 318 of the Dode Fox Podcast.
Hi, I'm Ryan Gold. You're listening to the Dode Fox Podcast.
So welcome back to the award-winning Dode Fox Podcast with the only thing taller than the pole in the away end at Parkhead, Paul McNichol. And cheers for passing on your feeks, Ronnie Costello.
We've not been in the same room, Rondo. Can't it be me? Can't it be me?
Must have licked the same dodgy thing you did.
No, absolutely not.
Kissed the wrong person that you did. Fell into the wrong vat of feeks and illness as you did. Like the boy for Robocop. That's how I woke up one morning.
I'm melted in nothing.
A snottery mess. One
Yeah.
was.
Been there, still there. It's great fun. January in Scotland.
It's absolutely wonderful. What we should have done what Yevgeny Kucherenko did. Headed for Greece and warmer climates.
Yeah, I think I probably would have just infected the hell nation of Greece though. But yeah, it was a little out of the blue, I suppose, the move by the keeper. Not altogether unsurprising, if I'm being honest. I didn't think he'd play for us again. I think I said that before. Goodwin's pretty ruthless when it comes to certain things. The speed of it, the haste of it, I suppose, was surprising. But when it happened, I had then assumed, right, okay, we must have somebody ready to come in, and that's just not happened yet. But I'm sure that's getting worked on in the background. But yeah, that's like a lot of people. I think they've said, I think there's a keeper in there, and I do think he's got certain attributes that, you know, you put them all together as a good goalkeeper. But ultimately, if he had to come back into the side and had one error, people just would have been on his back. People would have been on the back of the manager, even more so than they maybe are right now. And I just think it was probably best for all parties that he moved on, sadly.
Yeah, it was probably, like you say, it come a bit out of the blue, but probably not surprising that it happened in this window, obviously, because then there was a wee clip of you saying what you wanted on your January transfer wish list, and you went, good day with a goalkeeper. That's well, the three were still in the building, but so that is well. But yeah, probably not massively surprised. At the end of the day, you know, if an opportunity comes up so early, and the club are thinking, well, it's likely to be the plan for the window, maybe. Do you maybe just take it and take the fee and the sell on that they've negotiated and let it go? Yeah.
I think they've just cut their losses, essentially. I think that's the best way to put it. I think they brought him in because he must have met all the criteria that they wanted in a goalkeeper. And in some respects, he did. Like, he got the ball moving a lot quicker than Jack Walton, and certainly Dave Richards get the ball moving. Shot stopper, which should be a bare minimum. I feel daft even mentioning that he's a good shot stopper. If you're a goalkeeper, fuck me, you should be a good shot stopper. But it was some of his decision making coming for crosses, and ultimately, like, punching the ball in your own net a few times. That's not going to get the job done. Like, when you start costing your team points, then that's when conversations are had and people are taking out teams, and ultimately moved on.
Yeah, I think obviously there's not a stronger rap sheet against Dave Richards, given he's no punched the ball in his own net yet, but there's been moments.
It's building up.
There's been moments that are leading to it. Ultimately, we'll get to the game yesterday, but it wasn't it wasn't decisive in the scoreline, but certainly you'd say Aberdeen was decisive in the scoreline and stuff like that. So, so it's certainly it's something that obviously needs to be addressed. No doubt that it's certainly ongoing. And I know that the managers, he plays down a lot of the transfer stuff. Sometimes I wish he would just go, no, definitely, like, we are definitely doing it. But I could, it is a long window. I know it's tough, and sometimes you don't want to maybe show your card, show your hand, or whatever the phrase is.
It's not his style to do that, though, Rondo. It's not his style to do that.
That's what I mean. And again, ultimately, clubs are going to know Dundee United are looking for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So it's maybe not as easy, but probably not a massive shock that Yefeni went. And again, I'm a fan. Like I like the chaoticness until you start punching the man in the net. But and again, it was the things like you said. Got the ball moving really quickly, had pretty good distribution. Maybe not as far as what a Dave Richard can kick a ball or whatever, but he could get the ball moving. He could get it going. Some brilliant saves. I know you say being a shot stopper is ultimately that, but some brilliant saves that you shouldn't have got to. You watch it, but ultimately, let's say you stick the ball in your ring, poke it. It's not a great look. And again, I think that just trust's a horrible word to say. Your defence didn't trust you, but I think they maybe get real anxiety possibly when the ball's coming in. That's what it have been for 6-yard box ball.
Yes, this is very true. Which we could do with.
We could stay with the bar bouncing up place else.
Yeah.
Probably not a massive shock for it. I mean, it's you've got like a lot of other clubs. You've got an experienced number one at the moment, and you've got an up and coming goalie who should be out playing games. But certainly, again, if the worst happened and whatever, and Dave Richards had the sniffles on Saturday and Rory Adams had to play, I wouldn't be. I mean, again, I listen to you speaking about him every week when he's out on loan and he's played a lot of games, and I wouldn't worry. This is no a lose-vit situation here. This is not a Schornick situation. This is a keeper that has played a lot of games, so I certainly wouldn't be worried. But ultimately, I would still like a number one to come in, and the one man who it'll no be is Jack Annick.
Yeah, and I think there was definite interest in him from what I've heard, certainly, and ultimately that's not going to happen now because he's went to Huddersfield. I think probably get a lot more money there, I would imagine. But I would like to think that we didn't put our eggs in one basket when it came to trying to get a goalkeeper. We probably, like anything, I'm sure that it's a case of when you go for a defender, you've probably got maybe a list of 4 or 5. I'm assuming, I could be talking absolutely shite, but that's probably the way I would do it. You've got a list of 4 or 5, and no doubt you've got them in an order that you want them. And if you didn't get the top man, then you just go to the next guy. And who knows who they're ultimately going to bring in, but they're going to have to bring somebody in. My pushback on you saying that we've got an experienced number one, I would say Dave Richards is an experienced number one. He's certainly an experienced goalkeeper, but he seems to have been a number 2 for an awfully long time. And Rory, as much as I root for him and I would love to see him get a chance, I've said it before, I don't care if I want him in the team just now behind the defence that's not exactly watertight or airtight or tight, really. So I think it would be better scenario for him if he was thrown into a game where we're looking quite assured at the back, but that's not been the case lately.
Yeah, a defence tighter than Paul McNichol's wallet.
Correct, which doesn't exist.
I certainly think that in terms of when they're looking, obviously there's going to be players that managers favour because they know him. He knows Jack Annick, obviously, but I imagine like most of these nowadays, it's here is the profile of the player I want. Here is the left wing back that I'm looking for. Pace, can get up and down, can adapt. Here's a couple other bits, and a list comes out, and it's like, what? That Will Ferry, let's go for him. And they get it over the line and whatever. So, it's the modern way of football now. It's hands online now.
I know, and I was just the way to say
it. And again, you love stats, and I've got him for you later on.
I still think that it's best to go see the boy. Like what you see with your own 2 eyes, 4 eyes, if you're me. I think that tells you a lot as well, right? Because people can stat pad, and they can maybe they could run extra fucking yards that didn't need ran, and they can do what I don't know. Like I just think that stats are one thing, and they can help you, they can inform you to make a decision. But I don't know how many of these boys did we actually go and see before they came in the summer. I think you need a bit of both, Rhonda. That's just what I'm trying to say. You need a bit of both.
I think the big thing is, though, again, I'll I'll cross-check that with Hearts. Top the league Hearts. Do you think he went and watched a lot of their boys? Do you think he went and watched the boy they spent £1 million on? Do you think Hibs went and watched the boy they spent £1 million on?
But
I don't think you done. You maybe went once, but you're not going 4 or 5 times.
no,
Yeah.
but what I'll say is this, what is it, Jamestown Analytics or something?
Aye, something like that.
Right, so that seems to be whatever system that clubs are using to try and scout players without actually fucking scouting them, essentially, just going online to view their stats.
Yeah.
I think that seems to be like a top tier program for it. And you just have to look at Brighton. Like that's the one that they're utilising as well. And does the boy know who other teams abroad that are doing quite well? So they're getting the best of the best out of all these stats. Like, who knows how in depth their stats go? I have no idea.
And I think the big thing is as well that we're all fishing in different ponds here. Like,
yeah, of course we are.
Hearts are fishing in a pond that's maybe paying 7, 8, 9 grand a week. We're fishing in a pond that's paying 2, 3 grand a week. Tops, I imagine. So there's a big difference here on what we're doing. So
and in fairness, there's been crossover as well, Rondo, because we've heard like there's been players that we've been after and Hearts have fucking snaffled them. Like we can't compete with the Dosh. It's as simple as that. So that tells me that in some ways we're definitely looking at the right sort of players. But then if you get priced out, you get priced out. Like, that's maybe what's happened with Jack Allnutt. Like, who knows? I'm assuming that he would get their money going to Huddersfield.
Yeah, I mean, staying down there. It's another name that Xander Clark's went on loan. He's went to join Glen Midland.
Good.
What?
Good. Stinking.
I knew you were going to be like that. I knew that's what you were going to say. And I was going to back up and go and get some stats on him. And I just thought, what? I don't think he's shitey beard either.
No, that's it. That's the only stat you need. Shitey beard. We scored 2 goals against Hearts at Tannadice earlier in the season, and he assisted Biff, in my opinion. Like, fucking hopeless. I've never thought he was any good as a keeper. Never.
Yeah.
But he probably gets paid a lot of money not to be any good as a keeper.
Especially now. I see you're going to Hearts, you're on the big dough. Obviously, the talk of Craig Gordon's been put to bed on that, especially with Xander Clark going.
Yeah, I've never thought that was a realistic option. But I genuinely, I thought it was going to be Jack Allnutt from everything that I'd heard and read. But if it's no him, it's still going to have to be somebody else, because then I think that we can go to the end of the season with the status quo that we've got in the goalkeeping. Like, we need to add something, and we need to add, in my opinion, a number 1.
Yeah, and especially just now as well, you're looking at right on the face, so it's not a loan unless you do some of the business with a couple of a loanee or two. So you're looking at a permanent. So unless you're plucking somebody for obscurity, really doing the leagues to come in permanently,
it's difficult.
Maybe sell you a number 1.
No,
but
it's
again,
difficult.
I get the Jack Allnutt thing, because he was the number 1 because he'd been injured for so long, but was the number 1 for a good couple of years down there. So ultimately, he's stands. I mean, I'm only using him as the comparison. It's what else is out there that you go and get. Like, you look around the league a wee bit just now, and I'm not saying we're going to go out and get these keepers, but I look at some of the keepers that maybe have previously been up here. Like, I like the boy Shamal George, right? But I also think the Livingston goalie is a decent goalie. But then when we played him, he was like a statue half the time. But his back might be hurting for picking the ball out of the net that much. But there are keepers there, and again, it's other keepers that have maybe come up. It's maybe worth looking again. I mean, I see people still shouting, go and get Jack Walton, go and bring him back.
But he's on the bench. You're not getting him back.
Nah,
it's one thing for people to say, but he's went there and he's not playing. Yeah, but he's their backup. Like, nobody's going to allow their backup to go. What if something happens to their main kit? It's common sense. That's not an option. Like, the club, I would say that they're in a difficult position, because as you've just highlighted, other reasons, like, was Guianawa number 1 in January?
Yeah.
And also, we can't assign boys on loan because the loan numbers are maxed out. It's not an easy situation to
and the thing is
through.
As well, like, I think like the young kid that has came in and played at Kelly a few games coming on loan at Celtic, that was necessity. And that's why sometimes I go, can you just throw in? But you've maybe right. I mean, the back 3 in front of him's covering itself in glory at the minute and stuff. So I just you kind of, I just cannot work out what the day, Ken. Well, you know when this was it must have been once Kucherenko went Monday or Tuesday or whenever it was. For some reason, I was thinking about Ken, what could be next? There was the next goalie or whatever. And Ken, what I cast my mind, but I don't know how I got to this. Obviously, the famous sayings, Aberdeen Scottish Cup semi-final, and what they've got in the goal, and then Hibs have got the Boyle, Conrad, Logan, right? Ken, I couldn't get in my head. Andy Gorham playing for Man United.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Older
Few
boys.
Gittins,
And it's sometimes just like, what do we do? And I think it's a real, I mean, there's what I can't even think what the date is today. 11th of January. So there's
3 weeks-ish.
3 weeks yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
but that's it. It's no like we're just a couple of dafties that love the team. Like we it's no for us to go and find these players. That people within the club, within that area, that field of knowing what players are available, what might be available, what might be willing to come. It's up to them. It's their responsibility to try and seek somebody out and get them into Tannadice, at least until the end of the season somehow.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And Ken, what? There'll be a goalie out there, we're probably Ken, we're not thinking that's coming back for it or looking for games. Maybe, but who knows?
Yeah.
And again, I think with how the last couple of games have went, it's not the only position I think would I be looking to add or add to. So, but we'll see. But again, it's still a bit early. It's literally hearsay.
Yeah. We'll just wait and see. But like, I'd be amazed if we leave the January transfer window and we haven't added the goalkeeper. I think the club would be amazed themselves. So it's just a case of wait and see what comes in. Maybe waiting, and it might be right up to the end of the window, Rondo, unfortunately. But that's just the way that the cards might fall for us, unfortunately.
Wouldn't it be unusual? We've been in that situation because clubs will hang on until they need to do some other business because it might be
players themselves. They might be waiting for a better offer, and then they're like, right, okay, fuck it, United's the best opportunity so far, so that's what I'll go with. What is it? Wait and see.
But might be in Dode Fox fact territory with what I'm about to say here. I wonder if the transfer window, as customary as it will, slams shut, possibly on the 2nd of February, because I'm not sure they work on a Sunday, or have I completely made that up?
I don't know, but that would make sense. That would make sense. You double time if you're working on a Sunday, is it?
Given on the Saturday, we're kicking off 8 o'clock that night against Hearts on the 31st, the first then a Sunday. And then obviously you've got the Monday with more sense and via an extra day to do some business, possibly.
Yeah. Who knows? I'm not sure when it shuts.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
On the, just while we're sticking with transfers, no, we're going to go ever in depth in it, but I'm just trying to delay the inevitable. Kucherenko go on. Do you think anybody else will join him? And could that be because they need to free up spaces in a not a large squad, but a squad that when fit is big? Maybe. I know he wasn't in the squad yesterday, and I think it was down to illness, but Dolchik. Abdi seems to be wasting their time with that situation just now. He's not getting a game. We're not playing him. When he's coming on, he's not really doing anything. And I wonder, also, touching on Goodwin's ruthlessness, if he's had enough a bit. Like, I don't know. You can make a case that we didn't play at better strengths, because I think football fans, and certainly I fall into this bracket as well, like boys say one bad game and I'm like, he's fucking hopeless, he can't do nothing right. Bert looked excellent at the start of the year. Bert had a number of good games at the earlier games in the season. Now Celtic at Tannadice, dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Dundee first half last week, dreadful. Do we throw away everything that he showed earlier in the season just on the back of that? Do we just assume he's shiting it? That's it. Well,
he doesn't coming back for that.
Look at the week before against Livy. He was excellent.
Exactly. And it wasn't even the week before, it was like 3-4 days before. So I don't know. I'm not sure. But if a couple of the loans, I say a couple, if Dolchik was to go back to wherever, that wouldn't have surprised me. The one that kind of holds us back for loaning somebody in, strangely, is Papo. Now, and that's no having a go at Papo. I wish the guy was fit. I wish he was in the team. But he's no, and the chances are we're probably no going to see him this season, I would imagine, because it was such a significant injury. But yet he counts as one of the loans, and it just seems like we're kind of, there should be a way around that.
I think but you've got to put yourself in the shoes of Ferencvaros. Why are we taking him back? And you've got to pay his wages when he's injured. So I think it's
100%.
And I think when things get said online about guilty what is, I just send him back for loan. It's not as easy as that. Like, kind of, unless there's a break clause, that's your player for the season.
But, I mean, if you kind of send them back though, Rondo, to me anyway, it would make sense if there was like you can get an emergency loan or something, because essentially you've signed this boy in good faith. 3 games in, he's absolutely ruptured his knee, and he can't play the next 12 months or whatever.
It's the same as a permanent transfer. It doesn't matter unless unless there's a break clause in the January, which it's a lot what the English teams will do for players coming up here on loan. They'll assess it in January. So it's, you want them and you don't want them. Because say Purple goes and be a revelation and they just pull him back in January, you're like, he's been brilliant for us. Yeah. So you take that gamble, and ultimately it's a gamble that hasn't paid off. And like, we're going back to what you said last week or week before. Purple and Kamara, that was probably unofficial what was going to be the midfield, you're thinking. So we look at Stevenson to supplement that. So really, really frustrating. Obviously, I don't know if you've read the comment about why Bert wasn't in the squad yesterday.
Oh, no place on the bench for him or something?
Yeah. And ultimately, if you do look at the subs, like a third centre half you're in on the bench. So I could see that point. I mean, what are you putting him on for? I think it could have been MD. Whatever missed out, the question gets asked, how are they known the squad? Like, it gets asked. It would get
of course.
Asked,
of course it does. Especially if they've been in every squad.
Yeah. So it's because I actually didn't even realise. I'll be brutally honest, I didn't realise. You look at the bench, but you glance at the bench. But when I went back to it this morning, it's like it's a strong bench given what's available and what isn't. So it'll be interesting to see if there's one or two. And I don't mean like young boys going on loan. I mean like a couple of boys moving on, possibly.
Like the transfer window shuts 1st of February, by the way. I've just Googled it. I would imagine
that overtime then,
must be. I would imagine that there probably will be a couple of. I would like to think there'll be a couple of our young boys go out on loan, but that's not going to affect first team matters, really, is it?
What about a co-op agreement? You want more of them?
I think you could stick them where the sun don't shine, Rondo, because they are a complete waste of time.
I'd love to see at the end of the season the SFA or whatever brought this up, coming up and seeing how many has worked and how many hasn't.
That's because you like stats.
Just because I can, how much you do.
You're needing a spreadsheet sent to you by the SFA hierarchy.
I would be interested, because I think some teams will get a lot of that, but
we've had nothing.
And nearly every, obviously. So.
Exactly. It's bizarre to me. I can only laugh when I think about it.
Yeah. So I had someone else who was going to mention, but I've completely forgot. It was about a throwaway that I remembered for this week, but I've totally forgot. So if I've missed any major, that's what that is. So, Martin O'Neill appointed for the second time. Celtic on a statistically their fourth managerial appointment of the season. He comes in after Brendan Rodgers. No playing brilliant, but starting to show signs on old Martin O'Neill team. Getting results ultimately. No blowing teams away or anything. Nancy comes in. Well, I got a wee laugh at it because it's hilarious. Comes to Tannadice. We didn't get ahead of the bar in the first half. And then, wait a minute, they're tend to capitulate second half. True to form, that's what happened. They got pumped in the derby last week. He gets his jotters. There's only one man going to come back in. As soon as he's reappointed, I thought, oh, shit. And I'm just going to mark this statement because I said this yesterday, right? And I'm no making excuses. I didn't think it mattered why they were playing yesterday. There was a pump and getting dished out because they hadn't done it for a while, and as typical lambs to the slaughter at Parkhead, it was Dundee United.
Yeah, but I probably felt the same. Although I'm sure that I'll bitch and moan about certain things in the next coming half an hour.
Yeah.
But so on Monday I went into the United Club shop to get my tickets for the game. And as soon as I went in, Audrey that sells the tickets, she was like, "Oh, that's on my way then, eh?" And instantly I thought, "You're on about Kucherenko." I was like, "Well,"
I thought you were going to say John Goodwin.
No, that might be next Monday. Who knows? But when I went and she was like, "That's on my way then," I was like, "You had to go, Audrey. Says you can't be punching the bar in your own net like that." He was like, "No, Nancy." I was like, "You're kidding me." So I've not even bought my tickets yet. Like, so even back then, I think we all knew. Like,
So how did you not work out? You could have turned and worked out.
I could have, but I didn't want to abandon ship.
And should have.
Yet. I should have 100%. I should have. So yeah, I got that information just before I bought the tickets. Fucking typical.
I still went through with the transaction.
Yeah.
Still went. Yeah. Here is my £100.
No. Some things you've just got to do in life, Rondo. Even though you can at the time, it's you're making a real poor decision, a costly poor decision. But
a lot of them you have made in one's life.
Yeah, that's the life of a football fan, I guess. So yeah, I found that out on Monday, and from that point on, I wasn't really holding out much hope.
Yeah,
sadly,
we all were. No, I was lucky that I didn't actually need to watch again. I was at my granddad's 90th.
That is akin to winning the Euro Millions, Rondo. Yeah, that you didn't hate to watch that game.
And there might have been a rumour that you should keep boxers not working, so even better.
Jeez, did he know how to abroad? The 90th party abroad, so that you could have
no, it was
around.
Nothing was working. I stopped speaking to the token D's quite quickly. And I'd kind of just put my phone to the side and left it be, and then noticed I had quite a lot of messages. That was 2 ways that's going to go. It's either going really well or it's going really shite. And then at 20 past forever, soon realised it went really shite.
Yeah.
And 100%. In the brief 3 minutes it took us to watch the goals last night, wow, that was something else. So you're literally going to have to take me through the game up until the point you left.
Yeah, well, it was a waste of time. It was an absolute waste of time, Rondo. And we didn't even hate to discuss, well, what do you think about the changes to the starting line? They could have played anybody. It didn't matter the personnel that they played, because the way that we set up to simply defend our own box, it was fucking inevitable. When they score, the buzz burst. That the game is well and truly firmly up the pollie as soon as they score that first goal. And it took, I don't know when they scored at 20 odd minutes, but that was it. We just wanted to defend our own box. And I was standing right next to podcast pal Tezo for the length of time I stayed at Parkhead, and we kind of both looked at each other and went, "This is all right, as long as it remains nothing's up." But as soon as it does now,
was that in the first minute? That
was 10 seconds in, I think. Yeah.
Kick-off's just been had. This is never done, right?
Yeah, but we like, just all joking aside, we didn't show any attacking intent whatsoever. I didn't know what the game plan was, other than to hope and pray that you get a nothings up, because we just had nothing. And just to go back, if we do touch on the lineup, as happy as I was to see Sturton's name on the team sheet, it did piss me off as well, because I was thinking, we've been calling for this boy to get some minutes for a wee while now, albeit you could spin it and say, well, he's played every game since he got his contract, which is very true. But we've been wanting him in the team, whether he merits it or no, on what he's able to do. That's up for debate just now. But the people that were in the team ahead of him weren't doing anything. So, in my opinion, he deserved the chance. But I thought, to throw him into that game, I thought you're setting him up to fucking fail. What's he going to do? You're just telling him to chase shadows and try and close people down. And I don't know. I felt for the boy yesterday, although I'm sure Sturton himself was probably delighted to be in the team. But
listen, youthful exuberance, man.
Of course, yeah. No, I get it. And I'm sure that he was fine. I'm sure that he was absolutely fine with it. But as a punter looking on that has wanted Sturton to get a wee bit of game time previously, I just thought, why this game, Jim? Why now?
So you've moaned he started, and you're a moaned if he didn't start. Oh, that's good. Right,
I
I'm just
probably
checking.
wouldn't have moaned if he didn't start yesterday.
All right, okay.
But as I said, it wouldn't have fucking mattered because
No.
we set up simply to almost play a flat back 10. Just
Yeah.
defend your own box. We were so narrow, literally defending our own box, and yet they were still finding space inside the box, as we've seen, because they've hit the bar. Richards had a couple of easy saves, I would say, and they've scored 2 goals in that first half.
See, as well, though, I mean, I get what you're thinking. Obviously, Fatah aside, you look at the team, and it's arguably as strong you could put it.
I really didn't hear any. I didn't feel strongly either way about the actual team. It was the setup, Rondo. Like you could have played anybody, but if you're going to play that formation, you're literally just going there and hoping and praying that you get nothings up. That was it. And as soon as you go a goal behind, and I think we had a couple of chances on the break. Like Sturton's done very well to force, I think it's Trusty into a mistake. And I'm not even saying this to get a fucking laugh, but I didn't see what happened after it because of that stupid green fucking pole in the way. And then we had another chance, and I've seen it back now on Sports Scene where Sturton gets like a half a chance and he hits it just past the post. I didn't see that again because of that fucking pole. And I think it wasn't on Sports Scene, but Namo's had a chance at the back post as well, which again I haven't seen and I've not seen it back. So I didn't even care if that was any good. But none of them hit the target. Like we wasted every chance. And I mean, there wasn't a much issue seeing the game in the first half because it was at in the United end. Like we just could not get out of our box. I thought Kamara was poor, which is probably the first time I've said that last season. Namo, that was the poorest that he's been. Maybe the occasion spooked him. I don't know. I can't see any positives for yesterday. I really can't. And I don't know. Like, what must the players think when they get sent out there and you're no building them up. You're not saying, right, we'll play at our strengths today. You're essentially telling every single person in that lineup, boys, we're going to have to put in a shift here. You're planting the seed. We're not going to have the bar much. Now, we all know that we're not going to have the bar much. That's just fucking inevitable. But, like, we barely fucking touched that ball. I think we had, here's a stat, 22%. But that must have been clearances and passes between our defenders and whatever, because we just didn't do hardly anything. Nothing. Yeah. Because we didn't hit it.
Did you see the first 2 goals?
First 2 goals. So they'd hit the bar before that. I think Maeda hit the bar. What scores the first goal, Rondo? What scored the first goal again? Jan. So he gets the bar. Because we're so deep, like we're that deep that he's picked the bar on the edge of our box and he's still free. That's how deep we are. And we just didn't get out to him in time. But again, I go back to it felt inevitable. Like if you keep giving them chances, they're going to shoot and they're eventually going to get there. Now, if you want to be overly critical, Kamara doesn't get out quick enough to him. But he's covering a lot of ground. The whole midfield were at that time. They were just chasing shadows. Just chasing shadows. So it was a good strike for the boy, but we've kind of made it easy for him. Mm-hmm. The second goal, again, the boy Engels just walks into the box, no bother, Tierney picks him out. Can't miss. Good finish for him. Again, Kamara loses the man, and that's how I said a couple of minutes ago I thought Kamara was quite poor, because you could kind of link both the goals to him, and I'm not saying it's exclusively his fault, but he's played a part in them both. But it was just head shaking. Like, genuinely at the game, I was like, I was cursing myself, Rondo, because every time I go there, I'm like, why the fuck do I come here? We invariably set up to just defend, but I thought yesterday was the most defensive we've ever set up against them. We just didn't look like we wanted to do anything going forward, relying on luck, hoping, praying, and none of the hopes and fucking prayers got answered. And we got exactly what we deserved. And you could maybe argue we got a wee bit of luck here. The one thing I'll say in the first half, and I don't know if you've seen it back, the tackle on Will Ferry. I think that was dodgy. That was dodgy. Again, I half seen it at the time because of my position at the ground in that stupid pole. But since watching Sports Scene, I think the guy's incredibly lucky.
It's a red cap. He's out of control.
Yeah, I would hit. Plus, he's nowhere near the ball.
No.
absolutely nowhere near the ball. And I think as well, the fact that the ref is so quick with the yellow card, that leads me to think he fucking knows that it's a red. I can't that sounds daft, but he was just so, there didn't seem to be any thinking about it. But having seen it back, I didn't care how the boys not been sent off for that. I really didn't. He's got real lucky. But once again, like when something that I mention every couple of episodes, when things like that happen to United players, it really fucking grinds my gears that we didn't go and surround the ref or surround the boy that's done it. There was nothing. Not one United player moaned about that. They just got on with it. I don't know. Like there was something missing yesterday. Something majorly missing yesterday. Big time.
Yeah. It was a bad tackle. I generally, and again, I didn't say that. Against United. Nah, I think I will say though, if it's other way round, it's a red card.
Of course it is. And even if it is a red card, I think at that point we were 2-0 down. I still don't think we're going to win.
No.
I still don't think we're going to get anything out of the game.
No.
But you never know. That was another occasion where things didn't go in our favour there in that one moment.
Half time must have been a real laugh for that.
Oh, it was a rare laugh. Here a blather with the Audi Arab. We're both just like, what is the point in this? We have wasted a lot of money and time coming here to essentially 15 seconds into the game realise we've got no intention of doing anything going forward today. We're just wanting to pitch tents on the edge of our box and hope for the best. It was fairly sombre. It was a fairly sombre mood. Fans at the game certainly weren't happy. I can only speak for myself, but I really didn't see what we were trying to achieve. And to be honest, like we'd driving through in the car, I said, half jokingly, but kind of half serious as well. I was like, look, if it goes 3, we're out here. And after that second goal went in the first half, I thought we might not even see half time. And I thought, how am I going to spin this? Because I didn't want to leave at 3 if there's still like more than half the game to go. But we got in at 2-0. But it was dire. And you know what? It was a dire game as well, Rondo, wasn't it? Like people, I've listened to the interviews after the game as well, and Martin and Neil saying, we were absolutely brilliant today. I didn't think they were brilliant. See, it was almost like a fucking training session where, we didn't have a man extra, but that's the way that some teams train. Like we'll train against like 9 players and 10 of us have got the back. That's just the way it seemed. They were just knocking it about freely. Callum McGregor, who if you leave him be, he will just dictate the pace. Everything will go through him. That's exactly what happened. Kieran Tierney was in the furthest men forward all the time, and he's a left back. We just didn't. Didn't do anything.
On a McGregor thing, when I seen we were playing 3 in midfield, I generally thought one of them was to sit on Callum McGregor.
Nobody went near him.
It didn't happen. Because that's when they've been going through the shitey run under Nancy, most teams put a boy on McGregor and stopped him playing.
Yeah. And you know what? And he looks like half the player when you do that to him, as I would imagine most people would. Yeah. He's a flat track bully. Like he stayed in his comfort zone of Scotland because he seems to get the freedom of the fucking city yesterday, but boys don't tend to put anybody on him, and when they do, he really struggles.
Yeah,
but that was never game plan.
He loves a man marking job.
He's no answering emails to come on podcasts anyway. I can't that much, so I've no idea.
True story.
So I've no idea what Eric Bed's doing.
Absolute true story. But yeah, you really like say I never thought nothing during. I was doing most of the catch up sort of last night and reading through messages and stuff, and kind of just nothing. And I mean, some people, the glass half full mate of mine is like, Sturton scored that chance. I'm like, nah, but he didn't. And that's
it was half a chance. It was half a chance.
That's what I mean. It's still, again, it's still frustrating if I got something. It gives you slight hope, but you've still got 45 minutes of backs to the wall. But change of formation again, shape and in the second half. But
Kamara went off for just much the same, really.
Went about 4 though, eh?
Yeah, but it was much the same. Like it was, you could have played it back, whatever. Like if your only intention is to try and sit back and soak up the pressure, and the game plan didn't seem to change. See, in the first half, we were 2-0 down. The bar went out for a goal kick for us, and Dave Richards was time wasting. He was standing right beside the bar that's on like that cone thing, and he was waiting on the ball. Even Celtic fans were shouting at him like, "What are you doing?" Like the game plan just didn't seem to change. It was some of it was embarrassing. Like, and there was definitely some players in the team knocking their pan in, but they're just that can't be what, if you're a professional football player, you couldn't have enjoyed that if you were playing for United yesterday. You couldn't have, because everything that you were told to do was basically just doggies. Just go and try and close him down. Stop them for doing this. There wasn't any emphasis, no focus put on, right, when we've got it, fucking do this, do that, play through this way, go at this boy. There certainly didn't seem to be any of that anyway. It was really, really disappointing. Fatah made a slight difference when he came on, briefly, but ultimately, like, he's only one man, and wave after wave of Celtic attack just kept coming.
Third and fourth goal?
The third goal was what sealed my exit, Rondo. So the third goal, it's a good finish for the boy, is it? But he's 6 yards out on his own in the middle of the box. Now they've took a shot. Ross Graham half blocks it fast to him. He tucks it home. But once again, like, that comes back to the fact that we are simply defending our box, and things like that are going to happen when you're so deep. As I say, that was me away. Fourth goal, I'm halfway down whatever the road's called outside Parkhead. You hear the cheer and then you hear the song in Maeda. And my angle, I turned around and I was able to see it on the big screen, and I just see Dave spilling the bar. So, he's got to do better. Of course he's got to do better, because that's becoming a bit of a thing for Dave. Like, it's all very well making the save, but if you're only going to make the save and push it out to an oncoming attacker, then that's not really good enough. I suppose you could say, but our defenders were on their heels. Of course they were. Like, when you see a replay, like, they're just, I'm not saying they didn't care, but they're like, well, fuck, of course that's going to happen, because we've no got out our own box again. Like, they're going to hit shots. They're going to hit rebounds. Our keeper is prone to, I don't want to say he spills it. He certainly spilled the one at St Mirren, but parrying it out when you should maybe either smother it or parry it to the side, but he parries it out, and it didn't, in the grand scheme of things, it didn't fucking cost with the game, because the game was long gone, and I think that they probably could have scored another couple after that, but it was a waste of everybody's time. It was a really piss poor performance. No positives for me. None whatsoever. Hopefully we don't have to go back there again this season. That might be a positive.
So 65 minutes gone. See you later.
Was that the third goal? I was out of there, Rondo, honestly. I could have left at one. Because we were never getting anything. We were never getting back. It was just a nonsense. I certainly wasn't the only person. I'll tell you what, when I left, though, there were loads of Celtic fans left as well, because the game was shite. And see, after the game, Goodwin was on about, well, it's the Martin O'Neill effect, and we knew we were coming here to face a different team. I kind of agree with that. But then he was on about, the atmosphere today was a lot different. Rondo, that was as fucking quiet as I've ever heard Parkhead. There was nothing. They had a couple of Martin O'Neill songs. Even United fans, like, we had a keep the board joke song back at them, because there was a couple of murmurs of sack the board. There was just nothing. There was no atmosphere at the game whatsoever. Yeah. The game was dead, because it felt like a training session. So when we were leaving, and Shaw had said to me, there's even Celtic fans leaving, I was like, no wonder, it's like a fucking glorified training day. It's just it's a waste of Abdi's time, and it's the dearest ticket in the fucking league. It was just a bad day. A bad day at the office. Real bad day at the office.
Yeah. Celtic 78% possession, 22 shots, XG of 2.74.
That's on a par with Man City's when they scored 10 goals. A nonsense.
United just had 3 attempts in total. It's the first time United have failed to register a shot on target since October. Martin O'Neill, 20 wins out of 20 against United as a manager, and still winless at Parkhead since 1992.
Yeah, a number of these stats are absolutely embarrassing, but not surprising. I mean, everybody today, from what I've seen on social media, boys are really, really angry at Jim Goodwin. Really, really angry at Jim Goodwin. And on the basis of the setup, so am I. But the fact that Martin O'Neill's played us 20 times and won 20 times, that's no Jim Goodwin's fault. That's a lot of managers. But it's still an embarrassing stat if you're a United fan. How can that possibly
is embarrassing? That's a hell of a lot of managers.
Of course it is. And I know that we've come close. But when you think about it, like the games that we talk about, like there was one in the Scottish Cup there where we were 1-0 up, going into injury time, and we somehow managed to conspire to lose. There was the Brian Graham chance where he's got to score that, and we probably win. But even if you win the two games, that would still only be like 2 and 33. That's fucking embarrassing. Like how Celtic, albeit they've been the best team in Scotland for the last 14, 15 years or something, but they've not always had like great teams in all that time. And we thought like this isn't a particularly great United team. It's turning out to be, as we're all seeing, the fact that we've only won 5 games in the league so far, or whatever it is. But better United teams have went there and been pumped. But I was thinking about it last night. Would I have rather? I think I would have rather that United went there and at least showed some intent and had a go and lost 4-0. Now ultimately, it's still 4-0. It's exactly the same result, exactly the same points, exactly the same goals against. But just watching that, meekly surrender, just so timid, just no attacking purpose whatsoever. Just go there and accept. Like the chances are we're going to get beat today. That just doesn't sit good with me at all. I just feel like it's a waste of my time.
Yeah, it's that. If you had a go and got bit, fair enough, Ken. You've at least tried to go at it, but to just beat the there's a lot of things, and this is not for United. This is in general football, Ken. Sports science and anything like that, Ken. You can only play 60 minutes because then you'll be in the red zone and all this shit, and so kind of play and whatever, and like that does my tits in an arm. But the eye test tells you, Ken, if your team goes and has a go and they get bit, at least you go, Ken, what? Right, fine.
It sits better with fans. It sits better with fans.
Because ultimately, when teams are going and go ultimate defensive and all this, Ken, what about the punters that pay 39 quid? Ken? And I get it's a results business. I get that, but ultimately you've still been bit 4-0. Or fucking Exeter fans yesterday getting 10. A bit for a bad day out though, because it's the cup and it's a one-off. But Ken, if you start dishing
this isn't a one-off for us though. This isn't a one-off. This is every fucking season, Rondo. That's the thing. That's the thing. Brutal. It's just grim. Like I'm glad that we didn't that. This was like an immediate after the game podcast, because I would have been a lot angrier, and I've kind of simmered down a bit of getting a night's sleep. But I hate playing Celtic at Parkhead because for the majority of my life I was a teenager the last time we got anything, Rondo. A fucking teenager. I'm near 50. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Did I say 50? I meant 30, Rondo, obviously. But it's woeful. It's woeful. And I'll probably go again next time we're there. And I'll hate myself for going. I'll be like, why the fuck am I here?
I think draw the comparison, and I know it's different managers, but we were 1-0 down at Tannadice. They should have been about 6-0 up at half time. But we come up and right in their faces.
Yeah.
Okay?
There was none of that.
Ultimately, I mean, again, think how many fans Celtic had at Tannadice that night. 5,000? Whatever. So they've still got a big crowd. It's not, and you're saying it was be noisier at Tannadice than it was yesterday.
100%.
What you're saying. So, what's that? And that's probably the disappointing thing of, right, okay, we're 2-0 down, whatever. Second half, but then when you've no laid a glove in the first half, and then you can't get out the chair in the corner, it seems.
Yeah,
that's frustrating, man.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And I think some of that must come down to the training methods and whatever in the lead up to that particular game. The players must get told, like, not in so many words, but like, forget what you normally want to do on a football pitch, what you're normally quite good at. We're going to have to do this, and it's because these boys are better than you. That's essentially the message. And we all fucking know that Celtic have got better players than us. That's fine. But that doesn't mean to say that they can't be beat. We know that firsthand because we only beat them about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. But we just didn't show up yesterday.
And it's the same group of players they've got. They're just playing a different way.
Of course it is. But it was the same group of players that we had, but we played a different way as well. Because we sat back the whole fucking game. And of course, if people are good with the football, why let them have 78% of it during the game? And essentially just defend your own box. They're going to have pot shots. The first goal was a pot shot just outside the box. The third goal is a shot for outside the box because we're again so deep, and it takes a deflection fast to the boy and he scores it.
Mm-hmm.
These things, it's, to me as a fan watching it, it's inevitable that that's going to happen. So why set up that way? I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. And as I joked earlier when I said to Tezo 10 seconds in, like, this is pretty poor to watch. But if it remains nothing's up, then he's a genius. It was just never going to remain nothing's up yesterday, Rondo. Never.
Yeah, it's been a pretty dreadful 7 days, and I've just remembered that thing I was going to mention to you earlier that I forgot about.
Fire away.
Obviously, you were sent a tweet during the week of neighbours up the roads, best of the podcast and the views on the derby, which is funny because I didn't remember seeing an episode of that in August, right enough, but that just caught my eyes there. I was meant to mention that to you earlier on, but it's still been a great week. 5 goals conceded, no been great.
It's been a terrible year. It's been a terrible year.
It's been a terrible year. That's probably a better way of putting it. But it has been. It's been a relatively shite start to 2026.
Yeah. And what that's now done is it's heaped an incredible amount of pressure on the manager going into next week. An incredible amount of pressure. It's a must win. There's no other way around it. It's a must win, regardless of the gaffer coming out yesterday and saying, "Well, it's a good Ayr United side." It's no. It's and even if it was, the expectant crowd will be still thinking that we hate to just take care of business next week.
You say expectant crowd, there's no fucking many going at the minute.
The 37 people that have bought tickets, and yourself, because you'll be there, are expecting that United get through this.
Can I see a comment for somebody saying, why is the top tier no open?
This is a problem that's been building for a number of years, though, and it's not just a United issue. Like, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's the cost or whatever, because usually they bring the cost down for the cup ties, but people are just no interested in the cup games. I don't fucking get it.
Certainly,
especially for a United fan. You are never ever going to win the league, but you've got a slight chance, no great chance, certainly no this season it feels like, but you've always got a chance of winning the cup. If you get a lucky draw, you could go quite far in it. Now, I would say most United fans will have taken the draw that we've got. We're at home, we've got a team in a lower league who aren't great, regardless of what the manager was trying to tell you yesterday. They're no great. They've only won about the same amount of games as we have in the league.
I've got stats
5 or 6 5 or 6 in 21 games. That's an opportunity to get to the next round of the cup, but there's just, so far anyway, there's hardly anybody bought a ticket.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And some of that will I'm the same, but some of that will undoubtedly be the fact that it's not a great watch just now, and people will be voting with their feet.
What does the ticket cost? Is it 20 quid?
I think it's 20 quid. My old man's bought mine through the week, so I'll hit to square him up next week, but I'm pretty sure it was 20 quid.
Tenner.
Well, I'll haggle. But yeah, I think it was 20 quid a ticket, which is a lot cheaper than a league game. But
yesterday, certainly.
That would have got you to half time. I've only got 20 quid. How much of the game can I see? 46 minutes, mate. Okay. Bastard.
That'll do.
That was more than enough. More than enough.
Since the start of December, we have played 9 games. Just hazard a guess at a record of those 9 games. I can tell you the opponents if you want.
Well,
Rangers, St Mirren, Motherwell, Celtic, Hibs, Aberdeen, Livy, Dundee and Celtic.
Yeah, so what if we lost 3? St Mirren, Dundee and Celtic. We beat Livy. Is that the only game we've won?
Beat Celtic.
So we did, we beat Celtic.
And 4 draws.
So 1-2, yeah. It's not great, but you know what? It's if you isolate it down to the last 2 weeks, or the last week, the Dundee derby and Celtic away, it's the performances, Rondo. That's the most concerning thing.
Really poor. Really poor.
And
I think
also,
when you... On you go.
Also, after the match, like, normally Goodwin I think he calls it the way that it is. And I can some people moan that fucking making that sound flowery and that's not really accurate. I think in general his post-match comments are accurate. But last week he was economical with the truth after the derby. Said, well, they scored with their first shot on target. Jim, buddy, we should have been 3-0 down by the time they scored, mate. You are kidding yourself on if you genuinely believe that. And then yesterday it was a really tough atmosphere to play in. There was no atmosphere, Jim. It's like a fucking morgue. There was nothing. Like, if you're going to go to Parkhead, I'm not saying it was the good time to go because Martin and Neil had just come back and they were clearly going to get a lift. But it was far from intimidating. Far from intimidating. So, something's happened at the turn of the year. The bells on the 1st of January. I don't know what's happened, but we need to find our mojo again. And it needs to happen next week at Tannadice.
Yeah. Do you want to touch on there now, or do you want to do a good, bad, and ugly first? Because I'm assuming there's no man of the match.
There is absolutely no man of the match. We can touch on here. We can touch on here. As I've said, Rondo, there can't be any excuses. There cannot be any excuses. We have to win. It's as simple as that.
Championship draw specialists, Ayr United will head for
That's
Tannadice.
right. So they're very similar to us the season that they've had.
An 11th draw of the season against Airdrie yesterday.
Yeah.
2-1 Holt and McMahon will be back at Tannadice, and the last time we met was in the League Cup 2024. Brandon Forbes got the winner.
Yeah, can we get him back on loan? Free kicks.
No loans for us.
Neither would do. We'll swap one for Dolchek.
Yeah. It's one of them. A game on football we shouldn't really be worried about, but the way the last two performances have went, oof.
That's just it though. Like, we've got to win this game, eh? There's no excuses, and I'm laughing because in my mind I'm thinking, certainly at Tannadice, Jim Goodwin's record in cups, it's no great. It's no great. I was doing it fucking Queen of the South when we got popped out for that. It's no been the best, like, so.
But stats-wise, we battered them that day.
Well, according to you, we did that because we had about 40 shots, 20 of which hit my car. We've got to.
Then last play.
I think he was actually, yeah.
There you go.
Mockery as well. He might have been, but like, there's no excuses, Rondo. I keep saying that you cannot. I don't know. A lot of fans have turned against the manager on the back of these last two games. Now you could say that's harsh or no, but the way that the team's been playing recently, and almost like if we're sitting here analysing things that we've seen all season, we've definitely had highs, but in general it's been pretty fucking turgid to watch a lot of the time. And that's possibly another reason that people are kind of going against, because football fans these days, we didn't have much patience. But we'll have less patience if me and you are meeting next Sunday and we're not in the Scottish Cup. Mm-hmm. That will be a horrible atmosphere if that happens.
Yeah, because you then to play Land of the Gents after that, and then at the minute the league leaders the last game in January.
Didn't even want to think that far ahead. Mm-hmm. Didn't even want to think that far ahead. They've just got to get past Ayr United. Yeah. And ideally, comfortably, but ultimately you'll just take getting past them because it's a cup game. Anything can happen, I suppose. But like we've got to be the best, playing to our strengths next Saturday. We can't be focusing on what Ayr are going to be doing. That should be an afterthought, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would expect 3 or 4 changes, but relatively it'll be a strong team. I would think nobody will be in rest or whatever else because I don't think we can. So
it'll be a stronger team than Ayr have got. Regardless. So there's no excuse.
Yeah, I think Fatah and that'll come back. Fatah will come back in, and I've no. Again, I think there's still that thing now that the 3-4-3 seems broken.
Yeah,
did not work against Dundee. Nope. Went to go defensively, 3-5-2, 5-3-2, call it what you will. Didn't work.
10-0-0.
It's again what works. I mean, the days of 4-4-2 unfortunately are gone. And again, the 4-4-2 still leaves you light in the middle of the park. Still leaves you 2 in the midfield. Again, there's a real sort of problem now because there's not just one player out of form. There's 4 or 5 off it, and that happens. That's happened in the last 2 games. Last week, you would say Abdi was off it, but You know, it just seems that when it's not just one boy that's got their head down and can do something, and you're getting the wee sparks for the guys that are game changers, and it's just utterly frustrating at the minute as a fan.
But then why is that? Why are so many people out of form at the same time?
Never done. No go back to that.
It's got to be something that's coming for the training ground. It's got to be. Whether they're taking the enjoyment out of the game by the whole build-up to a Celtic match, for example, focusing on stopping boys. I don't know, like, if I'm a football player, I'm probably not really wanting to go into training that week and just realise I'm going to have to focus on purely running my fucking arse off, closing boys down. And then if I do get the bar, I've got absolutely no options in front of us, so I'm just going to gear them up back and then fucking start over.
I will be on the doggy shift for 90 plus minutes.
Yeah. So,
but massive next week. Massive. Okay. Not just to advance in the cup, but to get a result and a performance.
Yeah. And I'm not sitting, like, for what I've seen this season up to now, I don't know for a second think that we're going to win the cup. But you just never know, Rondo. You certainly want to win it if you get bit on Saturday for Ayr United, then that much I do can. But you just never know. You can get a cup run. You just never know. You can get favourable draws. Things can go for you in the cup. It can happen. We've all seen it. But you just have to get to the next round. That's the be-all and end-all next week.
Kevin Holt, Scott McMahon back?
They'll be up for it.
You'll be up for booing him.
Yeah, he was never any good, was he? He was excellent for us. He was absolutely excellent for us. Kevin Holt was a strange one because he left us to go to Ireland, and then it felt like just a couple of months later he was back in Scottish football. All very strange the way that one panned out. But then if you remember, he left with a wee bit of a cloud over him as well, did he? Because I think the club didn't want him to go, but he wanted to go, and there was maybe something
Jim was saying you'll not play, and
if you didn't let him go, he's not going to play for you. Is that right? now that I've aired that thought, you're absolutely spot on. I will be booing the fucker. He's getting it tight next week, and there's only going to be 37 over there, so he'll ken that I'm booing him.
Well, now you've said that, a few more might join you to boo.
I hope they do. He deserves it.
Yeah. Good, bad, and ugly.
Be good. Nothing. There's absolutely nothing, Rondo. Pumped for Dundee, then surrendered to Celtic. I'm not seeing any positives or good this past week. The bad, I'm fairly sure every single Arab that watched that game, especially the poor bastards that paid close on £40 to be there, will have felt absolutely robbed of their time and money on Saturday. An embarrassing performance and a complete waste of everyone's time. And ugly, we've now gone 33 years since getting a win at Parkhead. That is an utter disgrace. And with performances like we witnessed on Saturday, it won't be any time soon that we break that particular record.
I can't remember you heard that. That wasn't me. That was the dog squeaking her toy.
I think it was you squeaking your toy.
They didn't squeak. They just hurt. Buy me a coffee this weekend, Paul.
We're back on Buy Me a Coffees, Rhonda. I need a heads up. Let me find it. Has anybody been cheeky this week? We'll soon find out. Scott Hutchison, he bought 2 coffees. Great podcast, and you generally don't shy away. Here's a couple of coffees. The cup specialist is now the derby specialist. 6 wins and 26 in the league is unacceptable, as is not playing Sam Cleal-Harding. No 2 wins on the trot since 10 months ago. You are giving Goodwin too easy a run, in my opinion. Noted. And he's probably not alone in thinking that. But we are only being honest, Scott. We've certainly been accused in the past of trying not to upset anybody at the club. That's not the case. I try to upset Rondo daily and he's at the club. That's not the case. We're only giving our honest opinion on things. And who knows, if we get popped out the cup for Ayr United next week, then maybe that opinion will change. And Dave Hales, the Toronto Arab, bought 2 coffees, a couple of Tim Hortons coffees for a couple of fannies. Arabesque boys. Cheers, Dave.
Can have put it better myself, Dave. Well, the kits will return. We are still remote, obviously, just now, just because we're feeling like he's been royally taken up the rear since yesterday afternoon, and I've still got the feeks. But thanks very much. We've got a couple of offers again of other kits. that we will get a shot of and get on the wah between now and the end of the season. Fancy some fun right now, Paul?
Be as well, because it's not been any fun that's been had so far, Rondo, in this hour and 5 minutes.
Well, the Tannadice Test is here for that reason. When I was told by a pal of mine this week, they were shouting at their phone.
Danny Griffin.
And Danny Griffin. Shouting his
Johnny-
name out early.
Johnny Proctor, the superstar author of many a good book, he was on Twitter. Give me a wee bit of pillars. That was fine. I just didn't get it. At all. I still can't believe that we spent 600 grand on him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we did. But
Mental.
round number 1, player profile. Born June 3rd, 1991. Striker, signed May 23rd, 2018 by Shava Laszlo, who's applied for the Aberdeen job, by the way. Went on to make 146 appearances, scoring 43 goals. Nice and easy in the start.
Nicky Clark?
Correct.
Nicky Clark. I like Nicky Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he ever let us down.
No chance. No, definitely not.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Higher or low? Freddie France scored once. Scored twice for United. Did he? Yes, he did. Scored twice for United. Did big, beautiful Rashid Bouhenna's goal return be higher or lower?
So Freddie France scored one.
Twice.
2, sorry.
Twice.
He scored 2. I think I can only
Two
remember
enough.
one goal. I can only remember one goal for Rashid at Tannadice.
What was that?
Can't mind. I'm almost. I think you're asking me because he didn't score, but I've got a memory of him scoring for us, or at least celebrated a goal as a backtrack. I think he only scored one.
So lower.
Yes,
Correct.
excellent. Did he
That
used to
one.
score?
He did score, scored one.
Was it against Ayr United or something?
It was something like that. I had a bell out, but I forgot what it did.
Ah.
But beautiful
Glad.
bastard.
I thought you were setting me up to make me look like the biggest tit in Dundee at that point there.
No, that is what
I
round
do that
number 3
myself.
team sheet is for. United beat Kilmarnock 4-1 back in March 2004. Charlie Miller scored. Jim McIntyre got a hat-trick. Ian McCall was the manager, and I want you to complete the starting 11. Number 1 was Paul Gallagher. Number 4 is blank. 5, Alan Archibald. 7, Mark Kerr. 8, Charlie Miller. 10, Jim McIntyre. 11 is blank. 19, David McCracken. 21, Mark Wilson. 22 is blank. 25, Chris Innes. For an extra clue this week, Paul, the subs were Paul Jarvie, Stuart Duff, Craig Easton, Billy Dodds and Jason Scotland, who are the 3 missing players for that team sheet. Gallagher, Archibald, Kerr, Miller, McIntyre, McCracken, Wilson, Innes.
What was the numbers? 4?
4, 11, 22.
Right. I think Derek McInnes might have been number 4. 11 and 22.
You tell me when you're committing to your 3 names, and I'll tell you.
I don't know how I'm going to get 3 names.
You want to jump with me, McInnes?
Yeah.
Correct. 4.
Dodds was there, so it couldn't have been.
Dodds was on the bench, number 14.
Want to read your team out again, please, Rondo? Wee McInnes in it this time?
Gallagher, McInnes, Archibald, Kerr, Miller, McIntyre, McCracken, Wilson, Innes.
Barry Robson, number 11.
Correct.
22. Colin Samuel.
Colin Samuel. Great shout. It's not him though.
I don't know, Scotland.
He was on the bench.
That's what he was. I don't
Number
care.
22, Andy McLaren.
Fucking hell, man. Embarrassing. So it was.
Correct. Also played for Arbroath, Brecon City, Hibs, Livingston, Partick Thistle, Wraith Rovers, St Johnstone, the Spartans.
Jeez.
It's not him. He didn't play for us.
No, I didn't. Got no idea. Like everything, like when we do this round, like when you gave me one of the team names, like Spartans, I can't think of anybody other than Mikason, and it wasn't him.
Okay. I'll get the secondary. My extra clue for you was he is still playing at the Spartans. Going by his Wikipedia page. The blank look tells us that I need to ken right enough.
I couldn't tell you once. Oh, Paul Watson.
It's no.
Oh, Paul Watson. No idea.
Callum Booth.
Callum Booth. Didn't care he was at Spartans.
Yeah. Doing it Spartan. Joined them on loan for St Johnstone and signed permanent. So I can't know what Wikipedia is still there, but yeah, Spartans was certainly the last team if he isn't still there. But there you go.
Fair dues.
Who am I? I was signed by United for £140,000. And because Paul loves stats, my goals to games percentage was 3%. For example, I scored 3 goals in 100 games. That's not the actual stat. That's just how it's worked. I started my debut against Aberdeen. I was replaced by podcast pal John Clark with 11 minutes to go. My first goal came in a 5-1 win against St Mirren, and to quote the Arab Archive, I rammed the ball home.
Oof.
I won my first Scotland cap against Finland. I got 6 caps in total. My last United goal was also in a 5-1 win in the first ever Scottish Cup tie at Broadwood Stadium. And my last appearance came, I'm laughing already because I'm about to say a name that you'll go, motherfuck's that. My last appearance came in a 2-1 defeat to Rangers at Tannadice in a game that also saw Wayne Gill make his second appearance for United. Who am I?
Followed by, who the fuck is Wayne Gill?
Correct!
This
is like Craig Levine thing over again. I mind you signed him. No, never. No, you definitely did.
You bloody did. Jeez. I don't know who the foggiest. John Clark, like we're going back. 140 grand.
Mm. Yeah, goals to games percentage of 3% as well.
Raphael Mead. Just because I've never mentioned him. Just because I've never mentioned him for years.
Okay. It's not Raphael Mead.
No, there's a shock.
It's podcast pal Dave Bowman.
Davey Bowman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
He scored something like 15 goals in 500 games or whatever it was. So 3%, something like that. But yeah.
Dave Bowman. Well, he was in the team with Raphael Mead.
Wayne Gill.
Wayne Gill.
That was his second appearance of 2. He made 2 sub appearances. And even when doing any prep to speak when we spoke to Bo, that is a name that has first appeared the day when I looked at it. I looked at his last game and he come on the bench. Nah, I'm out. And I care why he is, I care what he done after that, because I was in that much shock. You were like, you wanted to do the podcast earlier today. I was like, fuck, right, okay. So I never actually got a chance to look. And
so was that in the 90s, Wayne Gill?
No, it was Bo's last appearance, so it would have been 98.
Wayne Gill.
Bo's last appearance.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole on him, because I have no idea what he is.
Yeah, so there you go. Tannadice Test and all the fun it brings. We'll be back next week. Lone report, any games on?
Just a couple of Rondo. Miller Thompson at Ross County. Miller would get the last 10 minutes of County's 2-0 win over Partick Thistle last Friday evening. He needs regular games though. You had Charlie Dewar at Arlo with game off. Calvin Beattie at Brechin, still no played for them yet. The co-op agreement with Airdrie, again no comment. Lewis O'Donnell at Cove Rangers. It was one of the few games that beat the weather on Saturday as Lewis and his Cove side hosted Inversnecky. He'd get 73 minutes of the action before being replaced by Fraser Fivey as the sides played out a scoreless draw. Lewis Haldane, I'm not sure if he's still at Cowdenbeath or no. I hope for his sake he isn't, but he can get a better loan spell in the second half of the season. The Academy lads, this coming week, and weather permitting, the under-19s have a friendly on Monday. That's today as this podcast comes out, away to Celtic. Oh, that'll be great fun. And then on Friday, the under-17s are due to be at home, Foundation Park, against Montrose, and that one has a 7:30pm kickoff. The women's team. Today, as we are recording this, the women are due to play their first game of the new year as Bonnie Rig Rose are the visitors to Foundation Park in the Scottish Cup.
Who is Wayne Gill? I hear everyone ask, and if they've no already Googled it, I have. Wayne Gill is an English former footballer who's the current physio for Brentford.
Well, he's done all right for himself then.
Yeah. Although Wikipedia me, I've got him playing 4 times for United, but Arab Archives tell me he only played twice. I can't wait and I'm believing.
Correct.
Finished playing up in 2005, went and done a degree, and is now the physio at Brentford. So that's why Wayne Gill is.
So we'll hate to get him on the podcast then, seeing as he's an ex-United player.
Call him on loan for Blackburn. You know? Nah. He might answer his emails. Who knows? It's just under 3 weeks until we head to the Borough Hall with Andy McLaren, who Paul's got no idea was when he plays for United, and Robbie Winners to look back at their careers at United and answer some of your questions. If you've bought a ticket, thanks again to everyone who has bought it. It's completely sold out. It has been for a wee while now, but we'll post all the details over the next, probably the week leading up to it, of things like doors opening and raffle prizes and all that kind of stuff. And some people got in touch with raffle prize. Well, listen, if you've got any you think could be of offer of interest, then slide in at our DMs or at Dode Fox Podcast across the socials, or you can head to the website dodefoxpodcast.com. But yeah, looking forward to it, Friday 30th of January at the Bonner Hall.
Yep, can't wait, Rondo. No shiting myself yet.
On this day, in association with the Arab Archive, preserving the history of Dundee Football Club since 2006, 12th of January is our focus today. 3 games to tell you about. United made a confident start against Motherwell in 2011, creating several chances in the first half. Took the lead in the 52nd minute through a Johnny Russell header from a corner. Despite Motherwell's efforts to equalise, United sealed the win in the 89th minute. A goal from David Goodwillie. It finished United 2, Motherwell 0. A trip to New Douglas Park will never fill anyone with much enthusiasm, but a positive result in 2015 does help. Stuart Armstrong and GMS had us 2-0 to the good before Hamilton drew level. At that point, it looked like it would be the home team that would steal the points. That was until the Dublin Dreamboat. United captain Sean Dillon came to the rescue and headed home to seal the points. Hamilton 2, United 3. It was a scrappy affair at Tannadice in 2019 as a Fife Bridie Munchers were at Tannadice. Both teams struggled to create clear-cut chances before Nicky Clark, mind him, Paul. He scored the decisive goal in the 81st minute, heading home across from Aidan Nisbet. With the news that both Ross County and Ayr United had both been defeated for the second consecutive week, all of a sudden United found themselves level on points with Ayr and a mere 3 points behind Ross County in the race for the 1 automatic promotion place. United 1, Dunfermline 0. No signings to tell you about, but one birthday, a £50,000 defender brought in from Blackburn by Paul Sturrock, made just 20 appearances, turning 48 today, David Worrell.
David Worrell.
Yeah.
I remember him.
Mm.
Yeah, much the same, but I do remember him at least.
Yeah.
He'll not remember even Wayne Gill. No chance. No chance. Nobody does.
I think Dave Bowman will remember him.
No chance.
Yeah. So I was saying it was my granddad's 90th yesterday, And I says,
Happy birthday to him, Rondo.
90, I mean, he's bought me my first season ticket, so
Can he keep goals? Can he play in the goals, maybe? He'll not spill about as much.
Yeah, probably no, like, probably, it's, no, but he was, we're chatting about it, obviously, you get what it's like when you speak to, you go back to the olden days as such, and I was saying, he was telling me about, he was going on Scotland trips on the bus, and these were like bus trips to Malta and stuff, and I said, we've heard stories on the pod, boys getting the bus to like Barcelona and I had, and he says, I just set up a company at the time. Can't remember the boy's name. He was a tailor and Granda was a diner. And his mate had said to him, there's a space on the bus to Barcelona. You want to go? So he speaks to his workmate and he's like, I've been offered a place on the bus. And he's like, well, you can't go. Like, I've just started. I'm really busy. He's like, all right, okay. Boy mulls it out. He says, come on, just go. Goes back to his mate. Mate's like, nah, place is gone. So one of the greatest moments as a United fan that he could have been at. Nah, it's a news. Listen, probably on his tranny. Like some
Probably.
That is a personal radio and not a,
Yeah.
So
it was on
so
the
he
TV though. It was live on the TV, Rondo.
Yeah.
So
he was telling that, he was just chucking back and forward sort of stories like that, and I says to him, you want to get in the score? Like he was the first. He says, no, and this is when you're speaking to a grandparent or whatever. He says, nah, I'll read about it in the paper on Monday. Like, I doubt you will. Just put it in the cat's tray. Like, I doubt you will. Don't you bother?
Nah, don't waste your time.
I can maybe just listen to you boys. Nah, I wouldn't do either. No bother with this.
That'd be a lot of
but he did. No, he gets a result yet, but he has got himself hospitality for the St Mirren game in a couple of weeks. That's what he's got as a birthday gift. I don't care if they'll accept refunds, but he might be looking for him.
What horrible bastard the bottom hospitality for a United game. Are you part of this? Did you go in their bunch?
No, I was just involved in negotiations to get a discount. That was about it.
Yeah.
So,
Jeez, peeps.
Yeah, she's going to that. So,
well, happy birthday to him all the same. 90 is a cracking age.
Indeed, brilliant. Keep telling us you wait his telegram in 10 years.
And he will.
Yeah. So, but that is it. Another episode done on the back of a pretty shite day at the office. You can find out more at dodefoxpodcast.com. You can follow us on the socials for the Dode Fox Podcast. Like, subscribe, click the notification bell on YouTube, and support the pod. buymeacoffee.com/Dode Fox Podcast. Do have a great week. Stay safe. Don't forget to wash your hands and your arseholes.